In an earlier podcast, I discussed specific ways to avoid project failures. Today I'm continuing with a few more ideas. So let's just set the stage. Think back to when you had a problem or a disastrous project in your organization. When that happened, was it clear that the problem was with the consultants hired to help? Sadly, this is often true, but sometimes they're just the convenient scapegoat. My question to you is this. Is it also possible that at least some of the fault also lies with your organization? Thinking proactively, how might a project be structured to minimize the potential for it to go off the rails? And more specifically, what are some of the root factors that you might be able to do something about? There are 5 areas that are within your control and that can make a difference. Here's the first: inconsistent leadership buy-in. While most projects do have an executive sponsor, to be successful, most projects cut across organizational silos. If the other groups do not see the project as important and they get their lead from their executive managers, it is unlikely that they will spare the needed time. Or worse, their disinterest or unwillingness to change may result in the project being sabotaged. The second factor is that there's no internal project lead. No matter how good the external consultants are, they don't know your organization the way you do. They don't know your history, your culture. They don't know the affected stakeholders, nor can they fully interpret the political cues. On a practical level, an internal project lead can wrangle internal resources, help with logistics, and be accountable for project process. The third factor is the day job issue for resources. Every project requires internal time commitments. Staff are engaged during the discovery part of the engagement, during analysis and validation cycles, during training, and during the rollout. In fact, this engagement is precisely what will drive user buy-in and ultimately a successful project. Yet, these very same resources already have a day job and already have responsibilities and already have deadlines. Most will accept some additional work, but if the demand is excessive or for too long a period of time, something will suffer. Either their core responsibilities or your project. The next factor is an inadequate budget. As a higher ROI is a direct function of how low the cost can be driven, not surprisingly, there's great pressure to reduce the project budget as much as possible. If the internal time budget is limited, then analysis and training suffer, leading to project benefits never being realized. And if the external time budget is limited, then the opportunity for knowledge transfer and the incorporation of best practices is similarly limited. In either case, project risk increases dramatically. Finally, the last issue is inflated expectations. It's too easy for both vendors and their internal sponsors to oversell both the ease of implementation and the ultimate benefits of the project. In some cases, expectations are so inflated that no matter how successful the project might be, it'll be judged a failure. Realism, pragmatism, and perhaps a small dose of cynicism are far more healthy. So, here's your challenge. Are all of your projects going exceptionally well? Or do you think that you just might be able to do better? This week, review these 5 factors and consider whether a slight mid-course correction or a significant project pivot can make a difference. And look for part 1 of this podcast as well for even more insight. I do want to actually add one more insight. The best organizations use post-mortem meetings to understand how to improve in the future. The 5 factors I just shared can also be used as a rating scale at the post-mortem. For each item, rate how well or how poorly you did, along with how the grade might be improved in the next project. I'm Randall Craig. I hope this got you thinking, and if it resonates, let me know why and if I can help. You can reach me at www.randallcraig.com.